Hello, it's the Abstractionist. I'm here with a deck haul video. Basically it's the decks that I purchased on my 3-month, 4-month break from YouTube, kind of. So come and subscribe to the channel. I do various topics on here. Yeah, stay tuned, check out all that stuff, and let's move into it. So, I bought quite a few decks while I was on this break, and I'm gonna show you some of them. Most of them I ended up getting at a really good price. Basically, I will say at least 20 to 40% off, somewhere in there, because I shopped at Marshalls and TJ Maxx, particularly Marshalls. So I was able to get a bunch of them. And if you ever are in the area where Marshalls is or TJ Maxx and you live in the US, so I don't know what the equivalent would be elsewhere, but look them up. But I don't know if 2021 was just that year, because 2022 I went back, and I guess because they're rolling over, it's a new year, so they're getting rid of their old stock, sending it probably back to manufacturers or whatever, so they can dispose of it or try to discount it themselves, and then do all that stuff. So I got basically all of these on some sort of discount. I think -1, because I ended up buying it from Barnes and Noble, and I think I'm gonna do a video about the tarot fakes, tarot decks and stuff like that. I have another video that I want to do about tarot scamming, and it's different than the deck stuff, but for tarot fakes and shit like that, and why I'm probably going to step away from eBay and stuff like that, and go for just shops, conventional spaces where people get their things, as opposed to spaces like an eBay, or even I don't want to say even an Amazon, but maybe even an Amazon. So yeah, look out for that. But let's get into it. The first one is the Work Your Light Oracle cards, and surprisingly most of these are oracles. I'm not really a big oracle person as far as for this channel, but for myself I actually do have quite a few oracles because I put them in my altar. I will be doing a video on my decks. It'll be on a Patreon or something like that, because I just want to talk about them in greater depth and why, and it's a little bit more personal. So yeah, so the first one is the Work Your Light Oracle cards. Now I personally was really hesitant about getting this deck, mainly because every bitch has it, and then you're kind of wary of those people that have these decks and they're love and light, and you're just bitch, I've been in the shadows for 10 years trying to get my life together. You talking about some fucking love and light, fuck your love and light, fuck it, it's dark over here. It being really resistant, and then also I wasn't into oracles at that time. But I got the Work Your Light Oracle cards, and then I also got from the same creators the Starseed Oracle. And I'm gonna be real, the only reason why I was hesitant about these was the love and light part, but then also I read by planet, and I really didn't know where to put these, and I also didn't feel like I wanted to go into the Starseed kind of realm, as far as motherfuckers you're from this constellation, you're from this, you're from that. I don't really want to use these like that, because I have no interest in going in that route. Watch I be that chick that does this shit in a year. But I had no interest in using these for that sort of stuff, nor do I have any real interest in using it for encouragement, affirmation, stuff like that. When I ended up using this deck, I ended up using it I just did a video on, I think Leo's was the last video I did. I think it was that video where I was talking about the astrology of place and having a relationship with places, and how the place has influence on you and you influence the place. And sometimes when you go to certain cities or do certain things, it's because you're drawn there astrologically. Like, example, my Saturn and the Saturn of the city that I live in are the same. We have the same Saturn. We share the same Saturn. So it's like I get to see the lessons amplified through my life out there. And then also I think this city has a Leo sun. I have a Leo moon. So I can like see that as well, you know? So what I felt like this is good for would be like ley lines and astrology as it relates to the energy of places. So this is, for me, I believe, will be energy of places, and exploring that and the lessons that come with living in places that maybe light something up in your astrological chart or whatever. I think I showed this, but if I didn't, here it goes. So we have the Magical Spell Cards by Lucy Cavendish. I used to watch, his name is James Wicca 13, and he used to always have these cards, and I bought them recently. I don't immediately always go out and buy cards or whatever that people have. I have in the past, but I think after 2020 I stopped doing that shit. Mainly because I couldn't figure out where I was going as a path in general, and so I really tried to do that. But it just looks like this. It just looks like these. And wow, I came back to trust. Maybe that's a sign. I mean, I get that they're spell cards. I kind of don't use them as that. I think that they kind of seem like more overarching themes of which you should probably focus on or work on. So each card comes with like a little page or two with a description of it, and then this is like the spell in this little box or whatever. So it kind of like rhymes, or it does something like it has say 3 times blah blah blah, and then another advice: keep an amber stone in your pocket while contemplating your path. Stuff like that. Like it does have like some sort of elemental ritual material related to it. So if you're interested in that, then I think you would like this. As far as I'm concerned, I might use these to challenge myself in spell work as I get deeper into that, but I'm not really in any rush. Hold on. The next would be Divine Abundance. Okay, you guys want to come out? So basically this is an oracle deck as well. So it looks like this. This is not my aesthetic at all. This is what it looks like. I think as I've gotten more into broader themes, I think that broader themes help you to maybe look at issues that just are occurring, as opposed to attaching them. Well, you don't have to attach them to your finances. You don't have to attach them to one segment. I feel sometimes oracle cards target the whole of the life, versus tarot can, but usually somebody is focused specifically on one issue that they want to work through. And I find that oracles are a lot broader and a lot more holistic sometimes, and they may not be specific, but they do give you that assurance and that confidence for you to move through whatever issue that you have. So I like it. I did pick this a few times to like get a few cards. Some of these I am going to try and do double decks, as in deck for myself and deck for other people, but it's the same, you know, the same deck. So like I get a working deck for other people and a deck for myself, to just not mix the energy. I think I'll probably do a video on that too. Just giving y'all all my video ideas, aren't But that'll be another video in the future, because I am, like I said in the first video, going to do my deck collection that I use personally. It'll be on a Patreon though, just because I just feel safer with that. And then I'll probably be able to give more personal life reasons why. The next is the Monology Manifestation Oracle cards. So basically, if you're interested in more lunar kind of things, then this might be up your alley. I'm personally not interested in that. I probably will use this as like a timeline type thing, as far as what timeline would be better for us, or because I moved my readings from, what is it? I moved them from monthly to quarterly. I might cover 3, you know, all the major moons there. So all the full moons and all the new moons, which would be 6 total, right? And just kind of exploring that ideas as I'm going through these. But I was going to get the Monology, but I actually like the aesthetics of this one better. Yeah. And because I'm not a lunar focused person, I don't do spell work by like phases of the moon or anything like that. I don't really do spell work at all like that. But essentially, I just am less in my Cancerianness as I get older. I'm more my Leo Pisces, all my Leo Pisces shit. I don't know why. Maybe because like my moon is Leo, but it's 12th house, and my 7th house is Pisces, and Neptune is in my 5th house, which is the house traditionally of Leo, and I have Saturn in Pisces. So I feel like I'm on my like Sun, Neptune, Capricorn shit, as opposed to just straight lunar, or well, planets representing those. Even as my Leo's moon. The next would be the Sacred Self-Care Oracle. Yeah, looks like that. So basically, each card is like kind of something you can do to self-care. Oh, did I say self-care? The sacred self-care, if I didn't say the sacred self-care. But yeah, it gives different things you can do. It comes with a guidebook. Things like that. So different things you can do to increase your self-care or intuition, or just chill the fuck out. To chill the fuck out. So I really like this. It gave me a few directions, well, a few things that I could do that I hadn't considered. Because you know, sometimes when you're going through your Rolodex of like, particularly when it comes to your emotional wheel of like when you're frustrated or when you're upset or something like that, instead of turning to like food or drinking or being snippy with people or just numbing out, having something to do is really helpful. And so being very solution orientated is really helpful for people who suffer from certain things, you know? Helps them get into their body and blah blah blah. So, oh, I was just thinking about another day. And like going forward as though I was talking about that deck. Next we have the Vedic Astrology deck. Yeah, so it's this. Now, I don't do Vedic Astrology. I don't do, I don't do Vedic Astrology. I don't do anything with non-Western systems, essentially. And so I kind of didn't know if I wanted to get this, but I got it, so yeah. I like the cards are huge. I like that you have different sections. So they have cards that align with the signs, houses. It has things like planets. Here we go, planets. Try to pick like all of them, all the topics. Moods of nature. And they have elements as well. I think that would be all of them, all of the different topics that you have. Oh, here we go. Here's another one. It's in here. Body types. So I find that this is, I feel like this would be, you could link this maybe with the self-care oracle, but it does seem a little bit more self-care, perhaps body-oriented kind of thing. And so Vedic astrology, I know a lot of people, they say it's more accurate, or they just have a better time jiving with it, and maybe it's holistic, but in I think very, very applied things. I don't know how, well, I guess it could get really theoretical, right? But I think sometimes it may come off a little bit more applied knowledge based. And I think also when you get into Vedic astrology, it happens that you kind of fall into things like Ayurveda and different modes of healing and stuff like that, which could happen in Western astrology. But usually if you're focusing on health, when it comes to astrology, there's certain aspects and stuff like that, versus I think this is more of a whole lifestyle type thing, system. And it probably is approached as such by most of the people that end up following it. Alright, so next oracle, because these have all been oracles thus far. The last three are going to be tarots. The Wild Goddess Oracle. So this is by somebody I personally like as far as like their work. I think I have one more deck of theirs and I want to get more. But Amy Zerner, and what is his name? Monty Faber. They have this deck. So it's different archetypes actually. So if you're into archetypes and things like that, and you like Carolyn Miss, I don't know. If you like hers, then I would suggest maybe picking this up. I think if you're a woman, you would probably like this a little bit more than some other people. So it just goes through each one of these, and then it has a little description here, and then it comes with like a book as well. And all of these basically come with like a book or something like that that'll help you go in more in depth. But it's how many of these are there? 52 card deck, so it's what, presumably 52 oracles. So I went through it, but I haven't worked with it in a while. I probably will work with it later on. Some of these decks will be going more into my womb space. I am preparing to do like a womb space oriented, I was gonna say oracle, womb space oriented YouTube. And so some of these you probably will never see on this channel outside of this haul, because they're not going to be used in this. You may see them in a personal if you book that, but most likely you'll just only see them in that space. So there's that. The last three are tarot. So we have the Wandering Star Tarot. This is what it looks like. Again, it's not really my style. Like, it's not my style at all, actually. I don't know, this style kind of annoys me, because I feel like it's like that fashion where everybody has a lot of patches and shit like that, and it's like patches and like knitted tight stuff, and just stuff that I always worry about lint always like attaching itself to. I don't know why. I always like think that those people are very linty or something. Like, that's so rude. That's rude as fuck. But yeah, judgment. And yeah, So this is that as well. So they do have like keywords. As you can see, the keywords are in her, I don't know if you can see it, but they're in her skirt. Some of them, they're in like around their head. Some of them are in the border, things like that. So yeah, I find that this will be pretty interesting. I don't know exactly where we're gonna go with this, but I'm interested in seeing where we go. We're gonna go to the Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot. That's what that looks like. It does come with a box, like a book, box, whatever. So this is what it's like that. So it's kind of like cosmic and stuff like that. Now, one thing that I had was, did they darken like or manipulate some of these images? Because I don't know, it seemed like some of these images were not of, I'm not gonna say people of color because I hate that term, to be honest, but like this, like is this an actual like picture that was made, or was this like digitally made to like have inclusivity or whatever? I'm not gonna show that one because it's like a bit out here. Same thing here. Like, has that always been like that? I don't know. Maybe like, you know, like archival art and stuff like that. Yeah. So this is another one, I think, if you want to do some more divine feminine work, this might be really helpful for that. Or like, if you believe in like some sort of deity worship or deity partnership or deity exploration or something like that, I think this also may be pretty helpful from it. It's kind of an old cosmic energy, which is the same thing as like the Secret Dakini oracle that I have. I need to figure out if I have the book. If not, I gotta order it, but it kind of gives me that vibe. So, like that. And so, yeah, there's that. The last one is Our Tarot, a guidebook and deck featuring notable women in history. There's that. And so, I'm gonna say I was like really annoyed by this, and I don't know why I didn't do a deck review, like a deck watching of this, because when I got this, okay, look at this, right? Look at this, the box size and stuff like that, and then like look at the card size. And I do think that these cards deserve to be bigger, just so you can see more of the detail. I mean, you can see the detail, like it's the same with the what's it called? Shadowscapes tarot, where like the cards are small, and so the details need to be you need to be bigger so you can do. But yeah, so figure this out. Yeah. So I got this. Now the guidebook is big. Like this is the guidebook. So the guidebook is like over 300 pages of material, almost 350 pages of material. So that's not bad for this. We do get like full color, like pictures and stuff. It's kind of like collage type, things like that. So if you're into your rusted and that kind of stuff, then I think you'll like it. Now there is one card in here that is kind of problematic for me, and I will be sharing that on Patreon because I don't have time for comments. I don't have time for things like that, and it's a very personal, well, it's not personal reason, but it's just something that I see and I personally don't like it, and I think that it's an issue that should be addressed, but I think most of the people wouldn't want to address it because they're afraid of offending people, and I just don't have time for something that I worked for to be flagged or something that I worked for to be torn down. Because with the YouTube like stuff, censoring and shit like that, I don't have time for it. So I will be sharing my personal opinion on that specifically in the future. So those are the decks that I bought while I was away. Yeah. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.